Martin Luther King once said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge." In this video, I am going to share with you 4 tips on how to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Welcome back to another video. My name is Dom and I help people to step into their truth and power. In this video, I am going to share with you 4 tips on how to get comfortable being uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable with discomfort, you probably run away from uncertainty or change. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Although I know that we all prefer to take the easy road or to stay in the status quo of what we know and feels comfortable to us, all of this staying where we are is really tied to our ability to want to feel safe or to survive. So we're often afraid to try something new, to get out of our comfort zone. And we usually want to avoid change so we don't push ourselves to that next level. We play it safe. But if we're not growing, we're actually dying. Staying comfortable for too long, it's just not good for our bodies. Our bodies are constantly changing. So what was good for us 10 or 20 years ago may no longer be good for us now. This actually reminds me of my niece. She's in her 20s now, but when she was younger, when she was a young child, she had this pair of pajamas that she absolutely loved. They were white and they had these cherries all over them. She called them her cherry pajamas. They were her favorite. She loved those things so much. She wore them until she couldn't wear them anymore. In fact, they began to tear. She wore them, they were so tight, they were uncomfortable, they were tearing, they were stained. She was actually forced to throw them away because they didn't fit her anymore. If you think about it, we ourselves have a tendency to do this all the time. We hold on to jobs for too long, jobs that no longer fit us. We stay in relationships for too long. We stay in bad health habits for too long, only to later have a job crisis, a relationship crisis, or even a health crisis because we perceived it would be too hard to change. But often, when the change is being forced upon us, the energy that is associated with that coming change has been pent up for so long, because it's been ignored, that the change is going to feel much more dramatic and much more intense to us. And so my first tip number 1, don't run away. The moment you begin feeling the need for change, don't run away. Begin embracing the change. Instead of waiting for that big blowout to happen before making any change, which by the way, only leads us to have a more painful change experience, begin taking the small steps toward the change that you want to make now. So if you don't like your career, begin looking for a new one that you just will feel more passionate about. Begin understanding what skills you're going to need to acquire to hold that new position. If you feel stuck in a relationship, begin making steps to get unstuck. Spice it up, do something different, be spontaneous. And if you must break it, begin taking steps now to set yourself up for that break. If you're having health challenges, begin making small daily changes towards where you want to be. Resist waiting again for that big one to happen, the big heart attack, the big health crisis, right? Before making any change. To live fully, we have to be willing to embrace the unknown, now more than ever. So those who don't adapt are going to struggle more. And if they continue not to adapt, they will die. This is a law of nature that no living thing on the planet can escape. I'm being straight up honest with you. I want you to get this. So we must be open and willing to challenge ourselves, to grow and to change with what is going to be the best for us. In today's world, we must be willing to change our relationship with change and be ready to make this paradigm shift. Tip 2, get out of your story. You've become a really masterful storyteller with yourself. You've come up with some pretty creative stories to make you believe why you're doing what you're doing or not doing. So you're going to have to be a little bit more honest with yourself and ask, but is this story really true? We must accept that uncertainty is the reality of the day, and we must possess the confidence and personal power to navigate through that. In spite of whatever story you may be telling yourself and wanting to believe, when you have that high sense of personal power, when you step into that, you believe that you can begin shaping your outcomes. And this gives you confidence and courage to shape change in your outcomes. But when you have low personal power, you question your ability to shape outcomes, and you feel the lack of ability to influence yourself, influence others, and influence your environment. Conscious people recognize and accept that change is inevitable, and they use this self-awareness each day to assess where they are now and where they want to go, and they use their personal power to get there. So become more conscious by paying attention to those stories that you're telling yourself and embrace your personal power. Tip 3, reframe, reframe, reframe. Reframe discomfort as a positive source for growth and get curious in the face of the unknown. This sounds like, when I make this change, good things are going to happen to me. You really want to focus on what you want from the change while you're making it instead of what you don't want. So many people, when I ask what they want, they often give me a list of what they don't want. That is very clear to them. But few can describe to me what they actually do want with so much clarity and detail. This kind of reminds me of when I went for training to ride a motorcycle. They teach you, when you go through motorcycle training, not to look at the oncoming cars, because if you look at the oncoming cars, that's actually where you're going to steer your motorcycle right into. You're going to have a crash and you're going to kill yourself. We want to look at where we want to go, which is the open lane in front of us. It's the same principle here. We want to pay attention to where we're going, not where we don't want to go. This is a universal truth, not just for people riding motorcycles, but this is for everybody. This is for people riding their life. In all seriousness, we want to stay focused on where we want to go so we don't crash into something that's going to kill us. Perhaps you've heard, where our attention goes, our energy flows. This is that principle. And so focus on where you want to go. Tip number 4, when you feel uncomfortable, it's time to call up your personal accelerators. What are your personal accelerators? Your personal accelerators are courage, compassion, and connection. And while we're doing that, we also want to manage the personal hijackers. Our personal hijackers are us being too controlling, too judgmental, or too competitive. When we step into our personal accelerators, we'll find that we move forward towards what we want much more quickly. And when we step into our personal hijackers, we actually move away from what we want. And so as you begin to live in more awareness, stepping into your personal accelerators and managing your personal hijackers, you'll find that it becomes easier and easier to do. You'll feel greater momentum in moving towards the life that you're really wanting to experience. By the way, those personal hijackers, they all live up here in your mind. And so when we're finally able to get out of our thinking head and into the current moment, this is really a key in being able to experience momentum and embracing positive change. And so I have something to help you with that. I invite you to listen to my free Calm the Mind meditation exercise. Actually, it's not so much a meditation, but a 10 to 12 minute visualization that I walk you through to quiet that personal hijacker in your mind so you have an opportunity to embrace your personal power from within. I've done this exercise with countless clients of mine, and it's really proven to be a powerful tool for them. So as I've shared, the Calm the Mind meditation exercise is free to listen to. It's in the link below in the description box, so go check it out. As we conclude, I would love to know which of these 4 tips was the most helpful for you today. Share in the comments below which of the 4 tips was most helpful for you today. Share in the comments below and let me know. I would love to know. And if this helped you in any way, I invite you to share it with someone. Pay it forward. by sharing this video with just one person who you think would benefit from watching this. And also, don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to my channel for more videos that I will be releasing. Until I see you on my next video, stay empowered.